Hello there. How are you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on when you'll be watching this video. I'm bringing you greetings from Extraordinary Woman of Impact, and my name is Onome Odokuma. We are looking at a sweet topic that is very necessary. Yeah, speak out. I say it again, speak out. Speak out means expressing your feelings or your opinions about something. Not just expressing it, but boldly expressing it, confidently expressing it. You could express your feelings on paper or spoken words. It depends on how you want to express your feelings or your opinions. For instance, in the newspapers, the daily newspapers, we have columns where you have opinions, like in the Guardian newspaper that is situated here in Nigeria. So we have opinions where people air their views on certain things, especially political views and economic views. Now, speaking out involves being confident. It involves being bold. Yes, that is what speaking out implies. Now, there are people out there who will tell you that, you see, when you speak out, you are going to expose yourself to the world. Now, we are not saying that speaking out means that you have to be in people's faces and you have to force your opinion on people. No, it's just saying it, maybe because of the way I'm speaking or something like that, but you say it, say what you feel or your opinion on certain things, not too strongly, but strong enough to be convincing. That is speaking out. Now, when we were getting married, I'm a married woman. I remember some people, when one is getting married, people will come with the various advice. Suddenly, everyone becomes a marriage counselor, that period. And one of the advices that we given was that don't let people in on what is happening in your home. Don't let people in on what is happening in your home. You need to protect one another, keep yourselves from the public eye or something like that, all of that. It's not the right way to do things, not the right way to do marriage. You are a human being, you are a child of God, and you are discerning. So in other words, the Spirit of God is in you. So since you are discerning, you will know who to speak to when you are having a form of crisis, if at all, or you have some questions to ask, or you need some clarity on certain things in marriage. Now, we are not talking marriage right now. We are just talking about the word, word speak out. Speak out boldly. It requires you being confident. Why should we speak out? We should speak out to challenge injustice. We should speak out to challenge injustice. What's injustice? It means things are not done properly in the right way. Okay, that's injustice. And then not just being done in the right way. Some people are deprived of certain things. That is where injustice comes in. Way back in the pre-colonial Nigeria, we had women like Madam Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, who spoke out. Remember, she spoke out against the colonial government at the time. We had other people like Madam Margaret Ekpo and others. Those people, those women spoke out, and their cause was heard. And you know what? They won their opinion. They were able to convince the government of the day. And so they got the government on their side. That is to challenge injustice. In the Bible, in Numbers chapter 27, precisely Numbers 27, we have the story of five women, bold women. They were daughters of Zelophehad. Now, what was their case? These women came up, with a case to Moses, their leader. They stood before not only Moses, their leader, that's in verse 1. They also stood, verse 1 to about 5 and so on. They also stood in front of the whole congregation and the priest Eleazar, they made a case for themselves. They said that their father had died, and their father had done very well, serving God, serving Moses as well. And he wasn't amongst the people of, he wasn't amongst those who went against Moses or against God. That is Korah and Korah's group of people. He served God well and died honorably. And now he didn't have sons. He had 5 daughters. You see that in verse 1, the names of the 5 daughters. So the law at that time was that when a man dies, his son inherits him. When he doesn't have a son, a male representative of the family, that means someone who is a member of the family, but a male, the closest male, will inherit him and carry on with his inheritance and his name. Now, this man didn't have a biological son. So these women were bold enough to stand in front of the congregation, the whole congregation of Israel, the priests, the princes, and Moses, their leader. And of course, God's presence was there. And they made their case. While they were speaking, and probably after they had spoken, Moses heard God say clearly that these women had a strong case. They had spoken well. At the end of the day, they were given their father's inheritance. That was a fight for justice. That is why we should speak out. One reason we should speak out. You are challenging injustice. Not just for yourself, but for those around you. Not just for yourself, but for your own children and unborn children. Today we have men who died and who didn't have sons, but their daughters inherit them, and they carry on with their inheritance, their wealth, and all of that. So now that is one reason we should speak out. Another reason we should speak out is to protect others. For instance, in schools, you can speak out. A child who sees someone who is being bullied can speak out. You, the child who is being bullied, should be able to speak out. On the day of the International Day of the Boy Child, my friends and I, just 3 of us, we went out to a secondary school, precisely the secondary school our children attend, and we spoke to the boy child. And one of the things that we discussed was bullying. We encouraged them that as kings, they shouldn't bully, and they shouldn't place themselves in a position to be bullied. Now, when you are not being bullied, but you find out, you see someone that is being bullied, even in the home, bullying, it doesn't take place only in schools. And it doesn't just take place with children. Adults bully adults, even in the place of work. Now, when you find out that someone is being bullied, why don't you speak out? It will help you and help others eventually in future. So you speak out to protect others and also to protect yourself. You don't stay in that marriage being bullied by a spouse or something like that, and you say the marriage is, well, I wouldn't go on and on about that. But you need to speak out. When you speak out, you are simply also asking for help. How can help come when you don't speak out? Nobody we can't know what is in your mind. We can't know what is in your head or what you're going through except you speak out. Now, the third reason why you should speak out is to promote positive change. Promote positive change, just like the daughters of Zelophehad. They promoted positive change eventually. That was that yoke of women or the girls not inheriting their fathers was broken because of these 5 young women who boldly spoke out. Not just speaking out, they were convincing while they spoke. So they promoted positive change. Look at the freedom that we have today, at least to a very large extent. Women who spoke out. Those are our founding women. let me not say founding fathers, founding mothers, they spoke out. That is why we enjoy some certain freedom today. That's why we have adult suffrage today. Women are able to, to speak out, are able to cast their votes, and are able to run for elections and become CEOs of companies and the corporate life and all of that. They spoke out. Look at Miss Rosa Parks of the United States. Her attitude in the bus with several white people, she still sat in that bus. That was one of the major force that brought about liberation for the blacks, that destroyed segregation between the blacks and the whites way back in America. So speaking out promotes positive change. Speak out today. Another one is it helps it helps you express yourself authentically. You are yourself. Be you. Just be you. When you speak out, you are just you. It promotes your integrity as well. It places you in that light of self-respect. Self-respect. Because you talk about your beliefs, your thoughts, good ones, of course. Another reason is to educate and to raise awareness. To educate and raise awareness. If you don't speak, how can people be aware of what's happening in their environment? For instance, the issue of mental health. Some people don't know how to address these issues, these mental health issues, and how to even avoid them. People need help. So you can come up, if you are probably a mental health practitioner or thereabout, you can come up and let people be informed about it, how they can avoid, avoid declining mentally by thinking positive. I'm not a mental health person, but of course, I know a bit of it. Then another one is to inspire others, and I will end there. To inspire others. That's why you speak out. You tell people about your own experiences or something like that. Apart from that, you encourage people. When you speak out, you encourage people in a bold manner, being courageous, saying it. It kind of have this ripple effect. It's kind of contagious. Okay? So today, as an extraordinary woman of impact, you need to impact your world. Speak out. You need people to hear your voice. Speak out. If you don't speak out, they won't hear your voice. Let's come up. Let's come up, air our views. Forget being quiet. Don't be silent. Silence is not a fruit of the spirit. Don't be silent. You just, no, I just want to stay on my own. No, I just want to be on my own. I don't want trouble. See, even if you are sitting on your own, trouble will come and look for you. So please speak out. Get out of that bad relationship if you need to. Seek help. When you speak out, you are able to seek help. People will know what to do and how to help you. So I'll stop here. Signing out today again is me, Onome Udokuma, the extraordinary woman of impact. I'll see you again sometime next week. Bye for now.